The FPL Gameweek 5 deal sheet is in with 3 players in each position you should look to buy, monitor and sell ahead of the deadline. Let's get straight into it by looking at the defender to buy, and it's Crystal Palace's Tyrick Mitchell, who came away with an assist in game week 4. He produced 4 key passes, 2 big chances created in the 2-2 draw with Leicester, and he's playing really high. He's in the wing-back role, but he's higher than Munoz on the opposite flank. And I think more returns are to come, and clean sheets will eventually come as well for Crystal Palace. 1.8% owned. He is a gem. He is a player I acquired the services of in the Sleeper FC draft game in the Draft of Legends, and game week 4 he was my second defender pick on the draft. He was my highest scoring player against FPL General. A ton of points for him, but I did unfortunately lose. But I'm hopeful that this week against FPL Mate, with Mitchell in my side, I can get my first win on the board. It is a head-to-head league. Remember, in draft, only one manager can own each player. So grab 4 to 14 mates to get involved. It's all fully customizable. The app is super slick as well. And you can also get FPL news on there, team news, match data. So click the link in the description to this video to download and get involved. On the monitor list, it's Aston Villa's Lucas Dean with 2 assists in his last 2 games. In the last game, he also managed 3 key passes, 2 big chances created, 6.7% owned, so he's a differential as well. He's on the monitor list though because Champions League football kicking in for Aston Villa this week. We've already seen Dean with some early substitutions. Mattison's come in for big money and is breathing down his neck for a start. So the numbers are there, it's just whether the minutes are ultimately there in the long term. That's why he's not a buy in my eyes, because the fixtures remain great and Aston Villa look like a great team to be invested in from both an attacking and defensive perspective. On the sell list though, it is Manchester City's Vardiol holding firm from last week. That Champions League rotation is kicking in, and City are conceding sloppy goals as well, which is frustrating. So it's justifiable to see him as the most sold defender again going into game week 5. Even with Ake out with an injury until the next international break, Vardiol just simply isn't nailed. Moving into the midfield, and another playing holding firm on the sell list, it's Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon. The volume of away games for the Magpies is a bit of a problem, 18.2% owned, but I still think you don't want to be doubled up on the Newcastle United attack. You maybe don't want any, but I still prefer Isak to Gordon. It's Gordon's positioning as well that provides some concern, because as soon as Barnes gets on the pitch, Gordon's on the opposite flank, and I think we will see some more starts for Barnes in the coming weeks. So I think with all that in mind, I don't think it's worth owning Gordon at the moment. If you are looking for a bit of a differential budget midfielder, have a look at Manchester City's Savino, who's now started 3 of their 4 games this season. Did have a little injury, which has meant that he did miss a game. But in game week 4, in the win against Brentford, he had 5 shots on goal, 2 on target, 1 big chance. He's sharing set piece responsibility with Kevin De Bruyne when on the pitch. He has got a great dead ball delivery. Could be an absolute gem as well at his price tag of 6.5 million, just 1.3% owned, and a 90-minute performance last time out is really encouraging. Again, see what his midweek minutes are like in the Champions League before investing. But on the buy list, it's Brighton's Kaoru Mitoma. I know Brighton disappointed by failing to score against Ipswich, but they did have 21 shots on goal in that game. Mitoma himself, 3 shots in the box, 2 big chances. He was unlucky. On another day, we could have been looking at a brace. So don't be put off by that performance. I know Mitoma and Brighton now dividing opinion, but I think if João Pedro comes back in, Mitoma will be a great pick once again. They're still creating plenty of chances. Keep an eye on midweek minutes in the League Cup. Hopefully a rest for Mitoma, but we need to see João Pedro back in, because him out of the side obviously weakens them. Moving on to forwards now then, and Rodrigo Muniz, still in my team, but he is a sell. 50,000 transfers out already for game week 5, and imagine that number to grow. He has to go. He's lost his place to Jimenez. Now, the writing was on the wall last week. We got that confirmed. I guess the only saving grace is if he gets to start in the League Cup and scores, he could, you know, be extra motivated to get his place back. So let's see how that pans out. But, you know, if you're a Muniz owner, you need to be moving him on ASAP. One possible replacement going under the radar is Crystal Palace newcomer Nketiah. Palace started with Eze in the middle, coming in from the left, and then a two up top, Mateta and Nketiah, both central, both hungry to score. Nketiah had 6 shots in the box. I know he didn't get on the score sheet, but 5.9 million, just 0.8% owned. He is one to look at. I guess the only downside is we know that Mateta and Eze are sharing penalties. Mateta completely selfish. Nketiah was as well, to be fair. He just didn't get his chance to put away, but maybe he's the third choice from that Palace attack, the third one we want behind Eze and Mateta. Maybe that's the only reason why we wouldn't look to buy right now. Talking of forwards to buy though, Ollie Watkins, I know he's been all over in the deal sheet to start the season with, but minutes over 80 for the first time this season. That rest in the international break where he didn't go out on England duty obviously helped because he was hungry and he looked sharp. 6 shots, 4 on target, all of them coming inside the box, 4 big chances. He was top for non-penalty XG. He could have had a hat-trick and an assist on another day. He obviously got his brace. You need to bring him in and have a plan to bring him in very soon. If it's not this week, certainly on a wild card in game week 6, if that's your strategy. I guess Champions League midweek, we just need to really check in on how fit is he. So I don't know whether I'd jump in with both feet in game week 5, but a plan with, you know, another good performance, seeing him as a buy in game week 6. Remember how consistent he was last season. 37 attacking returns in 37 games. Have a plan for Ollie Watkins. Here's the deal sheet in full then. Remember, if you're finding this video useful, let's get it to 50 likes and subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know in the comments what your transfer plans are for this week. And check out the link in the description to this video for the Sleeper app and get your mates involved with a draft. Make sure to get those waivers in. Try and pick up Tyrick Mitchell if you can. I think he'll be a great pick in the defence on there this season. Thank you for watching.